Hey everyone, welcome back to the Podunk Reef. It's been a minute since my last update because I've been trying to put fires out with this reef tank. Of course, all these problems were my fault. I started by trying to remove some of this crushed coral substrate because I absolutely hate it and wish I had never put it in this tank to begin with. So I've been removing some slowly with my water changes, and in doing so I believe I compromised the bacterial colony and allowed cyano and dinoflagellates to take hold in the tank. So that sucked. In addition to that, the PP8 power head that I had died, and this was a few years old. I had it for about a year, and the gentleman I bought it from had it for a few years, so it was just time. And despite my best efforts to repair it, it was just dead. So I went ahead and ordered the J-Bow OW10, and while I was waiting for that to come in, I pulled up one of my backup pumps out and mounted it to the back glass. Well, the suction cup that it uses to mount the glass came loose, and the power head fell onto the xenia colony in the back and gave it a haircut. So that sucked. While I've been dealing with the dinos and the cyanobacteria, I came across a video from Reef Dudes where he was talking to a guy from Elegance Coral, and in the video they put up a few screenshots of the treatment plan that Elegance Coral uses in their clients' tanks to deal with cyano and dinos. And this program implements the use of bacteria, carbon dosing, and bubble scrubbing. I was a little hesitant to start the program just because I didn't want to add anything to the tank, but I did it anyway, and I'm really happy I did because 24 hours later the cyanobacteria was completely gone from the tank. And 5 to 6 days after implementing the program, the dinoflagellates was nearly eradicated from the tank. I'm on day, I think, 18 or 20 right now, and at this point, the dinos are completely eradicated from the tank. I mean, there's no noticeable signs of them. They may still be in there to some degree, but I'm just going to keep up with the program, keep bubble scrubbing, keep carbon dosing, and just stay on top of my feeding and maintenance, and yeah, we shouldn't have a problem going forward. Other than that, the fish have always been happy and healthy, well fed, probably overfed, and the substrate's just going to stick around for now, and probably down the road I will gradually swap it out, maybe like a third at a time, and then add some bacteria just to make sure that I don't further compromise that bacterial colony. But that's down the road. So for now, it's just keeping an eye on things and maintaining the levels and keeping everything stable, happy, and healthy. So the coral growth has been pretty decent since getting that power head reinstalled and getting the flow back to where I like it, and the corals seem to be happy. So the corals did close up for a little while during the initial treatment. I think the bubbles kind of irritated them initially, or maybe there was just something they weren't used to, but they did close up for a little while, no longer than 2 days, and then they came right back out happy and healthy. So this little chalice seems to be doing pretty well. It's a little shriveled up here, but it's only a few hours after the lights have kicked back on. During the treatment process, I did reduce the light intensity, and I did dial back the photo period for a while too, because the dinos and the cyano are photosynthetic, and the bacteria doesn't need light to grow. So you just want to give that the upper hand and let it populate and do well and outcompete the dinos. But it's a good program, and I think it worked really well for me. So I'll leave a link to the description in the I'll leave a link to the video in the description so you guys can check that out if you're having any issues with cyano or dino. And speaking of coral growth, here you can check out this Duncan coral here. It has a little baby head starting to sprout out of the side. And during the treatment process, I did stop feeding the reef right. I just didn't want to add any more nutrients to the tank than necessary. The jack-o'-lantern's doing well. It's growing like crazy. It's encrusting that plug and about to grow onto that rock here. And then if you look here on these blastos, there's some little tiny baby heads starting to pop out here. So I'm happy to see that. Those have been in the tank for a couple of months now. So happy to see that they're doing well and they like where they're at. So that's kind of the update in a nutshell, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and happy reefing.